welcome to the Code Clarity podcast. I'm Jean.
And I'm Rena, and today we're going to be talking about the PMCPA's latest social media guidance. Now, Jean, they published the first version of this a little while ago, and that took years. So I guess it's good news, isn't it, that they've updated this one quite soon afterwards?
Yeah, no, I think it is really good news, and I think they've tried to clarify it. They've tried to provide more guidance. They've given examples of what good looks like, which is what we always ask for. So that's all really positive and appreciated.
Excellent. And I know that they're going to be putting out a webinar to talk people through what those changes are. But what we're going to do is just kind of highlight some of the key things, because some of the things that they've said, or, you know, they've kind of described in a bit more detail, we've been talking about for a while anyway. So, Jean, talk me through the first thing that you noticed was different to the last social media guidance.
I think the first obvious thing is the journalists having to self-certify. So when the last social media guidance came out, it was almost a new idea for us, that they were saying that if you signpost journalists to a press release on your website using social media, then the journalists will then need to self-certify in order to access it. And I mean, I'll be honest with you, I don't know whether anyone actually, did that.
Well, I know after the last social media guidance, when we did our webinar, I think we talked to a lot of people and said, well, this is only guidance. Guidance isn't binding. If it's not a code requirement, don't bother. So it may just be a reflection of the fact that no one was bothering.
Because it's now not in the guidance anymore, so that's all good.
Even better. Officially don't have to do it. Okay, what about the second area then?
The second area is they've clarified, and I think that's what this guidance does a lot. It clarifies a lot of probably what we knew and were doing anyway. And the one area that it's clarified that perhaps people weren't doing is that you need to, if you have a social media post that requires certification, so that would be disease awareness, you do need to recertify after the 2 years, or delete that post. And so that had never been sort of set out before.
You know, talking to social media experts, if a company deletes posts and does that regularly, it does something to the sort of, like, not spam rating, that's not a technical term, but it does something to the validity of your account. So that might not be an option for lots of companies to delete posts. So if they didn't recertify it, what's the likelihood of a complaint resulting in a breach?
Well, I guess they're saying that the complaint would be a breach. However, at the moment, the PMCPA have a policy that they're not going to accept complaints about social media posts that are older than 6 months, I believe. So whether that's coming to an end.
We'll just leave that out there. We're not advocating one way or the other. We'll just leave that for people to ponder and think about. Okay, what's the third change that we think is key for people to know?
The third change would be they've now got a memo of understanding with the Research and Ethics Committee. And that's if there's a social media post, and in the last social media guidance, it talked about, companies could and should use social media for their clinical trial recruitment. And then if those posts are approved by REC, then those will not come under the PMCPA. It will be, they won't accept complaints after them if you can prove that you have got REC approval.
But if they are not proved by REC, they'll be under the scope of the code.
Yes.
And then, okay, understood. Okay, fabulous. Thank you very much, Jean.
All right, thanks very much. Bye.
Bye.